Hey guys, welcome back once again to the Chili Channel and the second in our double bill of awesome homemade sauces. Once again, this was very generously sent to me by Dale at the Blunt Sessions channel, so everybody go check it out. It's a fantastic channel, some awesome reviews on there, always very informative and always very entertaining. So if you saw my previous video where I reviewed Dale's King in Yellow sauce, you'll know just how much I loved it. Awesome, all natural ingredients, fantastic peppers, great complex flavour, and just about as good as any sauce that I've bought, you know, from a shop or online, to be honest. So I'm really expecting good things from this sauce that I'm going to be having today. And so without further ado, here we go. This is Dale's Blood Red Pain. Awesome name. Reminds me of, I don't know, death metal band or something. What's that band? Blood Red Throne, that's what it reminds me of. It sounds like it could be something like that, or a black metal song, you know, something along those lines. But anyway, as you can see, where he gets the name from, I'm sure, is this gorgeous deep red colour. And once again, you can see lots of lovely looking ingredients in there. I can see herbs, I can see flesh and pulp, etc. So it looks very appealing. Looking at the ingredients, it's also equally appealing and also slightly scary, because the one I tried yesterday, the King in Yellow, showcased some great, fantastic scorpion peppers and some habaneros, some white bullets. This one has even more peppers in it, so it could very well be even hotter. And once again, Dale's gone for a really interesting selection of peppers here, mostly peppers that I've never even heard of before his channel. So these are quite some fairly rare varieties, I would imagine, and they certainly sound very intriguing. So in here we do have 7-pod primos, Naga butcherlocas, Trinidad scorpions, white bullet habaneros, black stingers, and red sweet peppers. So I've never really had a 7-pod primo before. I've never had a black stinger before, and I only just had the white bullet yesterday in his King in Yellow sauce. So, you know, I'm interested to see if he's bring anything more to the equation. Apart from the peppers, we have apple, peach, blackberries, fresh onion, fresh garlic, vinegar, kosher salt, cracked black pepper, oregano, basil, water and lime juice. So wow, peaches and blackberries. It's going to be interesting to see if they come out in the flavour as well. The fruity notes in the one that I tried yesterday, the King in Yellow, were quite subtle, I would say, but certainly, you know, very evident. And they complemented the more savoury flavours and the pepper flavours perfectly. So let's see what we've got going on in here. Let's give it a little sniff. Just a little bit of blockage. I'm just going to give it a little tap. Okay. Wow, okay. Definitely a very, you know, sort of general kind of pepper aroma. It smells hot once again, but it's definitely got that typical sort of, you know, pepper aroma that, you know, just lets you know that there's tons of, you know, peppers in here. A little bit of vinegar and salt maybe. A little bit of garlic, although I wouldn't say it's as strong on the nose as the King in Yellow was. Maybe a little bit more subtle, certainly more in the background, and there's definitely, once again, a fruity note to it. And I think it's probably more noticeable as being the blackberries. Yesterday, my palate sort of failed me slightly, and I was kind of struggling slightly to differentiate between the flavours. They just all sort of married together in one sort of complex impact, you know, one gorgeously rounded flavour. So I'm just wondering if things are going to be a bit more slightly easier to pick out on this one. But I can definitely pick up a fruity vibe, so it certainly seems very interesting. I'm just going to give it one last shake, because I just want to make sure I'm getting everything that this sauce has to offer. Okay. That'll do. Certainly smells yummy. So here we go, and once again, it's a similar consistency to the King in Yellow. Wonderfully pureed, flows nicely, but it is still thick. And you can see all the flecks of herbs, one or two seeds coming through as well, and it looks pretty damn gorgeous. Okay, blood red pain. Wow. Again, gotta take my hat off to you, Dale. If I was wearing one, I would. It's a great sauce. Dale really does seem to have a flair for just getting the balance right on his sauces. It's really, really good. Fruity flavours, fruity. I'm definitely getting the blackberry, and actually the peach as well. They do marry together. It's not like you can pick them out sort of individually, but you can tell that that's what's in there, if you see what I mean. And the garlic is much more in the back. It's more of a back note than it was in the King and Yellow. It's much more of an aftertaste, whereas in the King and Yellow it was really quite strong, which personally I like, but this is much more subtle. And that really brings out the fruity flavours a lot more, in my opinion. Heat-wise, it's not quite as hot as I was expecting, to be honest. I mean, with that absolutely gargantuan array of peppers in there, I was expecting a real killer, to be honest. And I think that the King and Yellow, well, it's probably on a par with the King and Yellow, but maybe slightly milder. Probably around about a 7 out of 10 in heat-wise. Again, it's kind of going for the size of the tongue, which is quite interesting. I've got a little bit of a burn going on the insides of the lips, a little bit of a sweat going on, but it's not challenging. It's just a nice, pleasant warmth that just kind of drifts over you, and it's very, very nice. I'm really liking these fruity notes that I'm getting, and then you do get more of a rounded kind of savoury note from the herbs. I think there's a bit of, I can tell there's a bit of black pepper in there as well. A little bit of salt too, but again, it's pleasant. He seems to have got the balance right. Some sauce makers seem to just pile that stuff in there. Once again, that's what a lot of sauce makers do with their vinegar. And once again, Dale has got it right. He hasn't overloaded it with vinegar. So it's really very appealing. I could see this going down well with just about anybody, to be honest. If you're a chili head, then I can't see why you wouldn't like this. I mean, what have you got? You've got all natural ingredients. You've got an awesome array of peppers, and for want of a better term, Dale is an amateur sauce maker, and for an amateur, he's doing extremely well. I mean, like I said, this is as good as anything that you can buy in the shops, in my opinion, or buy online from any of the major sauce makers. And in many cases, he's actually outdone many of those sauce makers, the big mass-marketed products. So, well done, Dale. I think you've done a bang-up job. Really, really awesome. That's the blood red pain. And I can see myself going through this like Billy-O. I've already gone through quite a lot of the King and Yellow, and I only opened that yesterday. I had it on my eggs this morning for breakfast, and it went down awesome. This could go on my eggs too. I think it might have to. You could have it with lots of things, like I said, with the King and Yellow, curries, meat dishes. You could have it in a sandwich, as a hot kind of salsa almost. Yeah, it's pretty damn awesome. So I've got to say, hats off to you, Dale, and thanks once again for sending them to me. All right, guys. So thanks for watching once again, and next time I'll be back. Probably not with a homemade sauce, unfortunately, but I'm sure I'll be able to find something interesting to review for you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.